Today we are going to talk about a new past tense. So we've learned le passé composé, which is the main past tense used to describe actions that happened. The imparfait, aka the imperfect tense, is another past tense that the French use. So whereas we usually just say it happened, French people have multiple past tenses and they pay attention to which one they use. The good news is the imparfait is fairly easy to make and pronounce. So let's look at it. Today we're going to look at using the imparfait to say was. You can use the passé composé, and you would use the passé composé of the verb être to say was. Remember, passé composé is two parts. It has a helping verb and a past participle. The helping verb is avoir, and the past participle is été. So if you wanted to say, oh, that was surprising, ça a été étonnant. That was surprising. Or if you wanted to say, I was tired, j'ai été If I wanted to say I was frustrated, sorry, I am tired. I was frustrated, j'ai été frustré. I was frustrated. This is not a past participle over here, just to point out this is the adjective frustrated made feminine to match me. You could use it for more than just emotions and situations. You could say he wasn't in his room. Il n'a pas été dans sa chambre. This is doable. You can use the passé composé of the verb être to say was, but French people don't do this usually. There is an easier, shorter, simpler, more efficient way to say was in French. So normally, instead of passé composé, we use a different past tense that is called the imparfait or the imperfect tense. So let's compare. Le passé composé is composed, meaning it has two parts, the helping verb avoir, être, and the past participle. And it is used to describe actions in the past that are over. So, il est tombé, he fell down, over, done. Elles ont pleuré, they cried. The imparfait is a simple tense, meaning it's just one word. That's why it's so much easier, and there are not rules about agreement and memorizing and Dr. and Mrs. Vandertramp. There's none of that, so that's good. The imperfect is a simple tense, meaning it is just one word, and it describes things that happened for a longer period of time in the past, like feelings and emotions. If you want to say he was hurt, let's say that she said something to him and it hurt his feelings. He's hurt for longer than just an instant. He's probably hurt for longer than it took him to fall down the stairs. He fell down the stairs, boom, up and down, he fell. Versus if he felt hurt, if he was hurt, that's something that, if somebody hurts your feelings, you think about it for a while, you perseverate over it, you're upset. Feelings usually last for more than just a moment. They cried is an action that starts and stops. They cried, they grabbed some tissues, they got over it. But to say they were sad, that feeling of sadness is usually more than just a moment. You're not like, oh, I'm so sad. Okay, I'm better. Okay. No, you're sad and you feel that way for a while. So the imparfait is used to describe things that happen for more than just an instant. That includes feelings, usually. Now, there are some feelings that only last a moment, like surprised. I was surprised, over. But most of the other feelings, like disappointed, apathetic, those usually last for more than just a moment. The imparfait is used with lots of different descriptions in the past, more than just emotions. Let's look at some examples. The imparfait is used for how people felt. Il était de mauvaise humeur. He was in a bad mood, and not for just a moment. He felt bad for a while. It's used to describe a situation. C'était fatigant. Like the whole thing, it was tiring. If something's tiring, it's not just for a moment. It's used to describe what the weather was like. If you want to say, oh, it was so hot out yesterday, il faisait chaud. It's describing that the weather was doing hot all day long. It wasn't just for a hot second, like, whoo, hot. Okay, now it's fine. Il faisait chaud is describing what the weather was doing. You use the imparfait to describe what people looked like. Elle était petite et sportive. She was short, small, and she was athletic. So I'm describing what she was like, her character, her physical traits. That lasts for more than just a moment. And then you use the imparfait for things like age. For example, elle avait 14 ans. She was 14. She had 14 years. And so you're describing what that person was like. Here is what the imparfait of the verb être looks like. It's easy to form. It's easy to pronounce once you get the hang of it. So the verb être, to be, in the imparfait is j'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. A few things to notice. It ends in AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. And then the stem, the beginning is just E with an accent aigu and the letter T. So the E with the accent aigu and the letter T sounds like ate, j'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. And then the endings sound like A as well. It almost sounds like the past participle été, E accent aigu, T, E accent aigu, été, like summer. J'étais, tu étais, il était. So they're simple to pronounce, they just take a little bit of getting used to. So I was, j'étais, sounds like you were, tu étais, sounds like he was, il était. Nous étions, vous étiez. You have an extra little I in here, so it's not just ONS easy, it's IONS, I-easy. Nous étions, vous étiez. And then this whole jumble cluster of vowels is pronounced A. All of that. So it's like the boot shape, they all sound the same. J'étais, tu étais, il était, ils étaient. The only difference is you hear the S sound. Ils étaient, elles étaient. Okay, last time. J'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. And here's what it looks like in context. Je suis tombée et j'étais gênée. I fell down and I was embarrassed. Fell down is passé composé, over real quick. I was embarrassed is a feeling that probably lasted for a little bit because I was embarrassed about falling. Tu étais de bonne humeur hier. Pourquoi? You were in a good mood yesterday. Why? So it's describing how you felt you were yesterday. Elle était frustrée à cause de son frère. She was frustrated because of her brother. Nous étions tristes. Nous avons pleuré. So again, we were sad. We cried. This is an action. Actions are usually over with. We're going to talk about exceptions later. This is a feeling. Feelings usually happen for longer. Vous étiez curieux. Vous avez posé des questions. You were curious. You felt curious. You asked. Passé composé. You asked questions. Ils étaient enthousiastes grâce aux bonnes nouvelles. They were excited thanks to the good news. So this is an example of just a little sneak peek of the imparfait. This is the imparfait of the verb être, to be. And so this is the way that you would say was.